Fearscape Media Network, exploring the unknown, one podcast at a time.
Hi, friends. This is Kelly with Wishful Drinking and Binge Thinking, the podcast where I get just absolutely hammered and I dole out psychological advice. That's right, I am going to be more drunk than that girl you met in the bar bathroom after your karaoke set who said, "You have such good stage presence. Oh my god." That's right, zero preparation, multiple drinks, countless profound gems. Tune in the last Monday of every month on Fearscape Media Network.
The SCP multiverse is under constant assault, and destruction can come at any moment. Therefore, having just one database is a folly the Foundation can no longer accept. Join Dr. Kevin Milgram and SCP-073, Kane, as they create an oral history of the SCP Foundation in Memories of Kane, an SCP story, hosted by Daniel Doremus. For should the Foundation fall, the unkillable first murderer of man will live on. New episodes drop every second Wednesday of the month on the Fearscape Media Network. Visit fearscapemedia.com for more information.
Coming to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown. Your ghoulish hosts for an evening of terror. Stefan Gearhart and Lance Wayne, the Misters of the Dark.
Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to another terrifying episode of Misters of the Dark, the greatest horror podcast in the history of horror podcasting. As always, we're beaming directly to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown. I'm your co-mister, the man with no name, Lance Wayne.
Oh, and I am your headmister, Lord Stefan Gearhart. Oh.
We apologize to the hard of hearing, but Stefan, through his psychic abilities, has been trying to make a connection to the spirit world.
Oh, what a loon I am. Oh.
You might be asking yourself, to what great peril are the misters in that where they're having to call upon the souls of the dead to enlighten them on this most sacred of quests? Well, dear friends, we are unlocking the door between life and death so that we may finally answer that immortal question. Did Marilyn Monroe have 6 toes?
Oh, Lance. Oh, shit. I think I'm making contact.
Finally! I thought we'd never get through to her.
Oh, well, I'm not in direct contact with her yet. When you connect to the spirit world, it's kind of like using Tinder. You got to swipe through a lot of randos before you find the soul you're really looking for. Oh.
Yes, even the afterlife is updating.
Okay, I think I got one. I've got Gandhi.
God, what? No, Stefan!
Okay, okay, I've got, here she is, Mother Teresa.
No, we want Marilyn.
Okay, Jesus. Okay, I think I got her. Oh my God, I got it. It's Tiny Tim.
What the, no, wait, actually put him on hold. What the, who could that be at this hour?
Oh, it's cartoonist and improviser Aaron Smith coming over to discuss the 1978 film The Astral Factor. Oh.
That seems oddly specific. You must really be one hell of a psychic.
It's not my psychic powers, you idiot.
Then how did you know?
Because I invited him over here. So, hey, thanks, Aaron. Thanks for coming over to our dilapidated mansion.
Yes.
Hey guys. Man,
Sorry,
look what
we
you've done with
were
the place.
trying to get the ghost of Marilyn Monroe here, but she couldn't make it. So, but I'm glad at least you're here.
I mean, I brought the codeine for the summoning and everything. I'm really disappointed. Oh well, it'll be fine. I'll just have the codeine myself. It'll be fine.
It's usually Lance's fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did a thing where like I hung out with you a couple weeks ago when we watched this movie, and then Lance, I made you watch this movie with me. And so that's why I wanted Aaron to come by. That's why I said it was oddly specific so that we could talk about this movie.
I just want to start off by saying, and I think I speak for Aaron as well, after watching this film, the only question I have to ask is
Why?
And
Why was this film
You chose
made?
to watch this movie not once but twice.
Yeah, I mean, are you a glutton for punishment?
I am. And I don't remember what it's called. It's like the guys from Mystery Science Theater 3000, like after they stopped doing Mystery Science Theater 3000, the original
You talking about Riff
cast.
Tracks?
No, not Riff Tracks, the other one, the something Titanic. I forget what they call it.
Cinematic Titanics.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
this movie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I may watch it a third time just to see them do this. If there's a version that's recorded, I know they were touring, and this was like the movie they were taking.
Oh man, that's
them.
brilliant.
And the full version, which we'll talk about, there's actually a shorter edited version called The Invisible Strangler.
Why didn't we watch that one?
I don't. Well,
It
because
definitely would have been more accurate title-wise.
Yeah. So again, for those tuning in, this is the Astral Factor, aka the Astral Fiend, aka Invisible Stranger, and if you were in Germany, it was aka the Transformer.
Wow, that's misleading. I think they should have called it the Astro Glide because I feel.
You needed Astral Glide to get through it.
It was just a raw. It was just completely raw for 90 minutes. The director's cut version of Raw.
Well, what's funny is that's so bad that they don't even have a credited director. They have 3 different people that are uncredited for this, which is John Floria. He was the original director. Now, this guy, I believe, he was like a TV movie director, and he was the main director through this. And you can tell because it feels like a TV movie.
Yeah, that's exactly because when I was watching it, I was sitting there thinking, was this a made-for-TV film? But
then
no,
you see like some booty and some things like that. And you're
yeah.
But yeah, and then Gene Fowler Jr. Was a director, and then Arthur C. Pierce, who was the writer, he actually picked up and directed some of this as well. Now you might recognize, he wrote some famous old cheesy movies like Women of the Prehistoric Planet, The Human Duplicators, The Cosmic Man, like a bunch of those old like drive-in B movies.
Yeah.
Like he wrote a ton of those and directed some of those.
The Duplicator, that was him?
The Human Duplicator was Arthur C. Pierce.
I have heard of Prehistoric Women or whatever that one.
Of course
was
you
called.
have.
Well,
it has
don't king shame me.
But yeah, like I said, the other guy was a TV director. I mean, he directed a bunch of things like Dukes of Hazzard, Chips, V, going even back further, Mission Impossible.
Holy cow.
Daniel Boone, Bonanza. I mean, this guy was an old guy.
That makes a lot of sense because this movie, the way the 2 main characters like play off of one another, the kind of wacky wife character, it feels like an episode of a television show.
It's such a classic. Like it's filled with nothing but classic tropes. Like
that's one thing that is what could, so Candy, that was his wife. I didn't know she was a living prostitute or a maid.
Well, I mean, there
Or-
was also a character named Bambi. So you got Candy and Bambi. So I think
Yeah.
the guy that wrote this thing, I think he was at a strip club drunk one night. He was like, I should write a story. I wish I was invisible so I could touch these ladies, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And then another lady comes in, and her name is Diamond.
yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, you can tell this guy, whoever wrote this, had the highest respect for women.
Oh yeah. No, it's really not like a really good '70s snuff film without a little bit of domestic violence.
Yeah.
Like an opening shot of a woman dying in a bathtub, like that.
Yeah.
This movie is in everything because like I said, I couldn't even find like where it got released or what it got released as. The smallest bit I could see was that it was made for kind of that last vestige of the drive-in cheese. But I couldn't find anything. So it's been in public domain for a while. Like probably like the year after it released, it probably went into
Nobody
public
wants
domain.
to fuck it. Nobody.
So you can
wants to-
find this anywhere. You don't have to go to Amazon Prime like we did. Like it's on Tubi. Like you can go to the Internet Archive thing.
You can walk
watch it.
outside and scream into the night, and someone will deliver a DVD to your house. Like,
Yeah, it
everywhere.
will. It will be there. But the only thing that I have is that it was released February 1st, 1978. Don't know where. I guess, I mean, in America, of course, but yeah, it's just so odd.
Not even
man.
the video companies wanted to claim it.
No, and what's interesting is
It's
it
weird.
never even got released in Canada, like officially. It released on TV in Japan 2 years later. It's just
Wow, that's exactly what
weird.
that's exactly like the America we want to show the Japanese. Like this is
Yeah. Oh my god! Did you all's when you all watch? Because I have a feeling we all watched it on the same streaming service or whatever. But did your all's like out of nowhere just like turn different colors?
Yes, so that's part of this cut. This is the original cut. This is why I got a feeling it may not even have been really released. Like, I wonder if this is like the Fantastic Four movie where like they had to do something with this story or whatever, so they filmed it and it just never got. Because I can't find budget info. Like, I can't find anything. But yeah, you can still see the scratch marks for the realist, and like there's blank spots where it's just in the middle of a scene. It's like, but it's
there's
like
just
that
big
everywhere.
X's through it.
Which is one of the
randomly.
reasons why whoever did it in 1984, where they re-edited it into the Invisible Strangler. So basically what they did, which we'll talk about more, but the main character, Sans, you never see him. You never see him talk. He's legit just an invisible strangler.
wow.
Yeah, they completely
God.
rewrote it. It's not an astral thing. You just never see him. So they cut out like 15 minutes of like exposition and stuff like that.
Huh.
So, but yeah, what a weird.
What a way to take a shitty film, edit it, and then make it even shittier.
Yeah.
That's almost like I can applaud that. Like you
Right.
could take something bad and make it even worse.
You
well,
think this film is garbage right now?
I'll give you a quick
Yeah.
synopsis. This is what it says on IMDb because I couldn't even really find it. There was a page on Wikipedia, but it was on the Invisible Strangler. But even then, that had like no information. The summary says a convicted strangler studying the paranormal in his jail cell learns to make himself invisible. As an invisible man, he escapes from prison to stalk and strangle the 5 women who testified against him at his trial. Robert Foxworth plays the police lieutenant assigned to protect them and to catch the invisible strangler. Yeah, that's what that says.
What's really wild is that like it's a neat enough concept that someone could have taken it and like done something cool with it.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, this guy didn't.
No.
Whoever made this didn't.
They could have just done
no.
something with
No.
this.
Now, there was 2 people I recognized in this movie. I recognized Stephanie Powers, who was Candy. She was from Heart to Heart, 80s show that I loved when I was a kid, and a number of other things. She's probably the most famous one. And then the detective, what's his name?
He looked like the dad off the Brady Bunch.
Burnett? You're talking
No,
about
not the
Burnett?
main detective. He was the secondary detective. In real life, his last name is Rodriguez. What's his name? Sorry,
Robert?
No, God, no. Percy Rodriguez. He's the older black guy that's in there.
Oh, yeah.
He was in like Star Trek and like Mission Impossible and just a ton of stuff back in the day. His voice is probably the thing that I recall more than anything. Or Benson. He was on Benson for a while.
Oh, heck.
But he did a lot of.
He was
Yeah, and he was on Sanford and Son, the sequel one, Sanford, where after Lamont left, like, and Sanford got his own show again in the 1980s. That was like Winston was like one of his good friends, so he was on there, and he played a lot. I mean, he was in like he was that guest character that showed up in like every 80s show. So
he was in like I'm looking at his IMDb. He was in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, really?
And because his voice, it's his voice that was just so good, like that was in everything. But
Can I quickly name two people that I actually recognized and did kind of research?
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. Well, the first is Sands, but it's odd that you brought up Mystery Science Theater 3000 because I've been binging Mystery Science Theater here lately. And there's an episode with a film called Clonus, the body horror.
All right, is that like the human deceptor or whatever we said?
No. It's
there you go. Yeah,
it's
the human duplicator.
It's a film. It's a film that it stars Charles Graves.
Oh yeah,
which is weird because here's another connect. Okay, I don't want to get too much into a rabbit hole over this fucking piece of shit, but no, Clonus the body horror. It's this weird film where it's like there's this like secret facility that like houses all these clones, and they're all for like if a rich people
already sounds better than the Astral Factor.
Well, yeah, but if they need like a new lung or something, they kill the clone and give him the lung or whatever bullshit. But he's actually the first clone you see get killed. The actor, like, yeah, and also he is in. And this is the connection to Peter Graves. He's in Airplane.
Oh yeah, he's in Airplane
Holy
1
cow.
and 2. Yes, both of them,
yes.
yeah. Different characters though, but yeah, he's in Airplane 1 and 2.
Yeah, and the girl, the woman who gets strangled, she has the dog. She's in the park painting.
Yeah,
she actually pops up in another Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie called The Giant Spider Invasion.
Oh Lord!
Holy cow! I've seen that one. Oh my God!
Yeah. So this has a lot of ties. It's no wonder that.
Another one
MST3K guys
is the guy that played the detective Robert Foxworth, who's the one they're always like Robert Foxworth is in this movie. He played Ratchet in all the Transformers movies. He was that voice. He's done a lot of different voices. He was on like Justice League, Unlimited. He actually did some Star Trek stuff. He was on 6 Feet Under.
Wow, no kidding.
Johnny Quest. Where's the one I'm looking for that I was going to tell you guys? Of course, 80s stuff. Oh, he was in Omen 2, Damien. He was in that. He was in the 80s movie Prophecy, not the Christopher Walken one. But his like claim to fame is, if you ever remember that TV horror movie called Ants, he was the lead in that. It was like one of the
kidding.
It scared me, dude. Like,
I've never seen
it
that
on TV. But oddly enough, too, he was in Airport 77, which, if you know anything, Airplane is that's one of the movies it spoofs.
Oh, really?
Airport 77. So I think that's kind of funny that the other guy was actually in Airplane.
In Airplane, yeah.
But yeah, so just a bunch of randos, and I guess like the blonde girl that like had the accent, like from everything I was reading, everybody knew who she was. I didn't really know.
You're talking about Elke Summer.
Yeah, Elke Summer. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in a lot of old films. She starred opposite Paul Newman in a bunch of films.
Oh, really?
Dean Martin. Yeah,
Good
she did a lot of
God.
silver screen stuff. Big silver screen actress.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, she was in a bunch of stuff. Oh, she was on Love Boat a whole bunch of times. I see.
Oh, well.
But yeah, anyways, let's talk about this trash movie.
Oh, God, do we have to?
Yeah.
We just sat around and get drunk.
All I know is that the opening scene is what I thought was gonna set the pace for the whole movie, and it didn't.
No.
That's one of the reasons I
No.
wanted to watch this. But also there was I don't remember where I saw it, but the tagline for the movie was what you can't see can hurt you. But anyway,
yeah, carbon monoxide. Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
so we go to this jail cell, and there's this black dude, and boy, oh boy, does he got some teeth. Whew, that's what I remember, man. He's got like some janky teeth, but he's got glasses, and I don't know if you noticed, like his books that are in there. One of them that I noticed that he was reading was The Exorcist, so I thought that was a nice little.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he's just like, kind of being a dick. But the dude that's across from him, which is our main killer, Sands, he's sitting there like turning all like he's like in one of the original Star Trek transporters.
Yeah.
Like
He's turning into a TV status.
yeah, he's turning into TV static. It's like the best way.
The
but
best special effects you could buy in
yeah.
like but he's like I don't know, like you can tell he's like working on something, and so I'm like, is he gonna like, because if it's immediately, I'm into paranormal stuff, so I'm into astral travel and things like that, so I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna astral project his whole body out of the cell. But no, that's not what happens.
He shoots lasers out of his fucking eyes like he's Ultraman or something.
Yeah, he randomly has all these powers, but essentially at the end of the day, all he's doing is trying to turn invisible. But the dude that's across from him is like, what the fuck you think you're doing, man? And he's like, don't look at me, blah, blah, blah. And they get into this big old fight. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, you better not say anything. And then starts using mind fucking power. I'm like, you need to turn invisible. If you got mind power, just open your fucking jail door. But he doesn't. I mean, he like basically makes the dude's bed rape him or something. I didn't know.
Yeah, and very schlocky stop motion,
which
almost like Nosferatu getting his casket out.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just like he's hugging his bed, but it was in like you said, slow stop motion. And I'm like,
yeah,
you could have just had him.
I mean, you can't take the you're like, oh, let's use his mind powers to get out of his cell. Well, you can't beat a cell door down with a mattress like you can your guy across the hallway.
Yeah,
a very gentle beating with the mattress.
And
the
dude busted his glasses. Like, obviously, this dude needs he's got a room full of books, and you gotta bust his goddamn glasses, man. That's just
it's like that ending of the Twilight Zone.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes. Oh man,
I finally had time.
Oh, that breaks my heart. That episode.
I know, I hate it too. Well, it's just that
I love you, Penguin. I love you.
Yeah, Burgess Meredith. That whole episode, I never got it as a kid because it's basically like, okay, don't read. That's what I got from
moral of the story.
Yeah, don't read.
But anyway, so the dude like, I ain't gonna tell anybody, man. I ain't gonna tell anybody. And then Sands like turns invisible, and that's when the cop shows up and immediately looks to the black guy to be like, "What have you done?" And I'm like, oh,
this is why our criminal justice system needs reform.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And he's like, no, man, I didn't do anything. And then of course looks over, Sands is gone, and so he's like, what did you do with Sands?
Yeah,
there's a guy that's locked in his jail cell, and he still says, hey,
his glasses are broken, his mattress is everywhere.
Oh my god,
what did you do to your mattress? Did you fuck your mattress? Did you fuck that mattress?
Did you fuck that mattress? Oh my god.
No, I didn't. Did you fuck a mattress?
God, man. Oh, but yeah, he opens the door to go in there to check Sands' cell, and that's when Sands apparently walks out and then shuts the door on him. And then, like smooth as butter, he knows the next move because the cop's like, hey, Danson, or whatever his name is, get in here. So that guy opens up that door and he just cruises on out.
Yeah.
I wanted one more reaction from the other prisoner. I wanted him to be like, told you it wasn't me.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like a slow pan to his face. He just looks at the camera and then just cut to the next scene. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Anything would have been great.
Another film would have been great.
But yeah, and then we're like, okay, well, where's he gonna go? Because like obviously he's got a plan. If he's learning this stuff, like we wouldn't have a movie if he didn't have a plan. And so he goes to the graveyard, and this is where I started not knowing what was going on, like, because he was looking into the grave and it made it look like he's seeing this woman inside this grave is what it looked like to me at first. But then I realized he was having a flashback.
Yeah.
And it was his mother, we find out. And we essentially, through this flashback, find out that she was some sort of famous actress and she had him when he was real young, and she didn't want him, she didn't want anyone to know that she had him, that it would ruin her career.
Kind of like the director and producer of this film. They didn't want to they didn't want to claim them.
Right.
So this is kind of deep. What do you think about? What the fuck am I talking about? No, it's not.
Well,
you're right. I feel like it was the only compelling thing about the whole movie, because it's like, oh, okay, so he killed his mother because she hid him because she had him when she was like 17 and then became a big famous actress.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Yeah, I guess back in that time, because
the
dude looked like 35. So if this was 70, I mean, yeah, that puts us at what, like in the 40s or 50s or whatever.
I thought he was 26.
I don't fucking
know. Yeah, who gives a shit, honestly? Who cares?
But regardless, I mean, like, yeah, so 50s, early 60s, whatever it may be. I guess I could see that would be a scam or whatever. But yeah, so we find out through this that he killed her. And that's why he was in prison, which it didn't look like a prison. It just looked like a county jail.
Yeah, no.
It only had 4 fucking...
Yeah, and like they literally just put a sign on it that said, for the criminally insane.
They were probably in like Elizabethtown, Kentucky. They're like, hey, can we use your jail?
Yeah.
They were doing it for the 48-hour film festival.
Oh God, no! I've seen films from the 48-hour film festival that look better than that.
Definitely better writing and dialogue.
Yeah, and so basically, like, essentially what happens from his point of view from this point on is that he's going on a murdering spree to take out the people that testified against him for killing his mom, for doing the thing that he did. Essentially, it's not like he was wrongly convicted and he's getting revenge. Like,
I find it interesting that 5 women testified against him. We don't know what they said or how they testified, or anything. That we have no idea how they contributed to his conviction at all.
Nope.
Just that there were 5 women that did so. Well,
they don't seem to know each other.
So
in fact, they all seem kind of like completely unaware of the fact this guy even exists.
No,
I know.
Well, when the the one that gives the lead detective so much shit. What's her name?
Hartman.
Well, whenever she's like, and she's like, when he brings his
Wasn't that Bambi?
Was that Bambi?
I think it was on the boat.
No, yeah, okay. Who was on? Who's the 4-in-1 by the pool and shit?
I think that was Bambi.
Hartman. No,
that was Hartman.
I think it was Hartman.
Let's just go with
hair.
Yes,
the short hair.
Chris Hartman. You're right.
Yeah.
When he
they
brings,
all look the same to me.
Yeah. Well, when he brings the name up to Hartman, she's like even just kind of indifferent. She's just kind of like, "Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be extra careful."
Well, we've already skipped over our first kill, like, because he's still in the graveyard, and the night watchman at a graveyard, which, those are everywhere. He's like, "What are you doing here, buddy?"
Yeah, this wouldn't be a 70s horror film without a night watchman.
Oh my God, dude! It just blows this poor bastard into an open grave, which there's always an open grave.
Always.
And then through his mind power, buries this poor... before he buries him alive, one of my favorite parts, as you can see, when he falls into the grave, he throws his flashlight up. I was watching where that landed. You couldn't see it because he's already in the grave, but that thing smashed him right in the face, dude. If you watch where that flashlight was falling, I was like, this smashed him right in the face, dude. It was a big ass 70s flashlight, dude.
The kind you could kill a man with.
Dude, I was watching when they showed the image of him in the grave and it's like over to the left. I was like, that ain't where it landed in real life.
Did he have a bloody nose? Like,
yeah. Well, it would have been funny as the guy's falling to the grave. You heard, "Oh fuck!"
Son of a... Oh, damn it.
You know what? As bad as this movie is, I bet the extras reel is really good.
I bet it is.
Really good.
Oh, I wish, man. One of my favorite things is on one of this review, this guy talks about when he puts the guy into the grave, he says he uses his powers to bury this poor guy alive. But hey, at the very least, he can now use his newfound powers as a grave digger.
Yeah.
You know what? Criminal rehabilitation. Criminal rehabilitation is so important.
Yeah.
Give him a trade. Give him a job.
Yeah.
So
just
then he goes and stalks a chick in a parking garage. We don't know who she is, and to be honest,
was she the one that was because like the fucking opening?
She's in
credits.
the tub. This is the one.
Oh, I want
to
to talk about the opening credits.
Oh, go yeah.
The opening scene looks like a James Bond intro shot by Ed Wood. It was amazing.
By way of Debbie Does Dallas.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly how it felt to me. And the music was just, oh boy.
It's like, it's the 70s.
Hey, did you guys remember it's the 70s? It's the 70s.
Yeah. But yeah, so like he ends up killing this chick in her bathtub, which she's sitting sideways in this bathtub that I don't think is meant to be sitting sideways, but he chokes this bitch to death, which, you know, this is why I can see there really wasn't a budget, because besides his like cartoon teleportation, everybody just killed themselves.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly every, you know, they're not like, you know, when we got into the 80s and it was all about the kill. It was all about,
or now like CGI, you'll see the imprints in the skin of the neck.
No, it was, you know, back
soldier. Oh god.
Looked like I just needed the Heimlich maneuver.
They couldn't even like spring for the fake blood. Like the fake blood was not in the budget for this film.
No, everybody was strangled, like or buried or something different. But yeah, like I did like her face though, like her death face. I was like, there's two death faces that made me go, oh shit. It was her and the dancer.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the
weird
weird
can we
thing
talk about how her bathwater was green?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know if that was like bubbles of the 70s or just bad print, because the color. I mean, this thing kept changing. There's a point where it turned black and white for like a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, I got fucking purple sometimes and yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, obviously he's got an Oedipus complex, because as he's killing her, he's like calling her mother. Like,
yeah.
This is the weird part, because that's where I was like, this is why I got really confused, because I was like, that's a different actress though. Like,
and she's way younger than him.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, that's his mom. And I was like, I had to rewind to check. Did she just have a wig on? And I was like, oh wait, this is a different chick. Oh, he's weird. Like,
yeah.
I think he might be crazy, you guys.
But see, and that's where I'm like, are you killing?
I have a bad feeling about that.
Are you killing these people because they spoke out against you, or because you've got an Oedipus complex and you just want to keep killing your mom over and over again?
Or because, I mean, fuck it,
you got to
do something.
Fucking lifestyle, and you have to hire Richard Pryor to be your toy.
Yeah, or I mean, fuck it, fuck it. This movie's got to have some kind of plot, right? I mean. I love these films where it's almost like they're aware that they're in a film. Like, well, I gotta do this, or fucking I gotta do something.
I gotta push the story forward.
yeah.
Well, and then this is where we meet the detective and Candy, which, like, I still don't understand Candy's role in this whole thing. Like, it's so random. But, like, he's with Candy, and he's got a day off, and they're, like, you know, fighting because he gets a phone call to come in, you know, in which he cusses out his boss unintentionally, but then it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He, like, his no-pants-wearing gorgeous wife's bringing him ice cream in bed and cannot bother to crack a smile.
Girl's
about
hair
it.
is on fleek through this whole movie. This whole movie. Like,
is that how relationships?
It looked like Darth Vader just went and put it on.
Is this how relationships were in the 70s? Did your gorgeous penthouse playmate wife,
who does nothing but stay at home half naked all the time, like in some sort of robe or t-shirt or coat, like
this
I don't think
woman
she ever wore pants.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the concept of pants, or
It was in her contract. No pants whatsoever.
Yeah.
You get a T-shirt down to your navel. That's it.
Yeah. They just brought you like root beer floats while you lay in bed. I mean,
I don't know, but then he goes to the morgue, and this is where the movie changes gears. This is where it stops being about Sands, and it starts becoming about the detective here. What the hell is his name again? I already forgot. Oh, Lieutenant Barrett. Like, this is where it becomes about him, because originally this movie's about Sands and his Oedipus complex, but then it flips over and it turns into a buddy cop TV show.
Yeah.
Which his partner is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the pin?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Yeah.
Hey, it even pissed off Barrett at later on in the movie.
Yeah.
But old pen clicker McGee over there. Whatever the hell, what was it?
I guess that was like a character choice, maybe. Like, I wonder if, like, I guess I'm being a little bit generous by thinking there were writers at all. But, like, did the writers put that into his character? Or was that like, I'm the pin clicker guy? That's what I bring to the role.
That's like, motivation.
I can't focus on my lines. Here, take this pen and click it. Like, and then they're like, fuck, we've got an hour and a half with this guy clicking this pen. Fuck, we got to get this last scene in.
You think it's pissing people off?
He seems to always be clicking it right into his microphone somehow.
I know. Oh my god. Oh, God.
But classic mystery, you know, like after they like get this chick, they find out that the apartment that she was in was locked, of course. So they're like, how did this happen? And I'm sitting there like, how'd he get out? Like, like I guess and phase through walls. I don't know.
In typical 70s fashion,
he threw the mattress at the door lock and locked it behind it.
Oh, the mattress powers again, man.
But I was gonna say, in typical 70s fashion, they call in her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's like 50.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And you know,
that's why I was like, is this the stepdad? Like, I was still at this point confused.
I know. Yeah. And he was like, we never had an argument. And I was like, what? Did you ever ground her or something?
Right. But that's when you find out that they find Sands' prints at the scene. And I think Lieutenant Barrett may have been the one to put him away. I don't even know if that is like initially fully said or not, but that's what I got out of it, that he was the one that put him away. But
I got nothing out of this. So
this is where he basically says that Sands likes to kill celebrities and models. I'm like, so they like, it's this throwaway line where you're like, wait, did he kill more than his mom before all this? Like, did he go out? Did he kill Liberace? Is that who did that? It wasn't AIDS. It was motherfucking Satan.
I think you're putting way too much faith into this film.
I think we got to look deeper into the Manson murders. I think this guy's involved.
Oh my god!
But yeah, he's like, no, it can't be him. He's locked up in prison. No, he's not.
Yeah. Little do you know.
Tell you, clickety click, 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 click. He disappeared.
Always sending what were they called? Where you tap stuff.
Morse code.
Morse code. Always.
That's what that guy is like. This movie sucks.
Yes, he was trying to warn us.
Please help me. SAG made me do this.
He's the true hero of the film.
Right.
But that's how they get all this connected, because Barrett then goes around and tries to find he goes over looking for previous survivors of the attacks. This is when you find out, yes, it is more than just his mom, and there's some other like trophy wife chick. This is Hartman. Is that what we said her name was?
Fuck it. Go ahead.
Elkie. This is Elkie.
Let's go with
who
that.
She lives as a dancer. I mean, it's like there's all these people that are dancers and actors and all this stuff. No. This isn't Elkie yet. This is the other chick that's by them. They all look alike to me, I'm telling you. Because she's living in
blonde woman in the 70s.
And she's like, no, I'm fine, bitch.
Racist.
But we know she's not, because they keep showing the empty chair. Like, and we know motherfucker's sitting in that empty chair, like invisible. And that's when he comes out of that and kills that bitch. Or maybe he doesn't kill her yet. Maybe that was Hartman. I mean, I've already like written this out of my brain.
I have too, man. I just watched it last night.
Like, I know, me too. He could be stalking her, though. But yeah, they meet up with the doctor that's at the facility that Sans broke out of, and that's when the dude's like, oh, he was into all this, like, Indian stuff from India, and astral projection, and invisible thought rays, and all kinds of crap like that. That's where.
Okay, this part was actually kind of interesting to me because the doctor mentioned something called the ESP Research Institute.
Right.
And that's actually based on a real thing. That's based on the American Society of Psychical Research.
Yeah.
Which is a real institute. It's been around for like 200 years.
It's still around?
Yeah. And well, if you'll recall, in the mid 70s, that's when that stuff was really ramping up. Like post 60s, when they started getting, like, people were getting into transcendental meditation and stuff like that. Mid 70s, it was like super happening. Like people were really into that new age thought. That's kind of when that really started becoming a thing. So yeah, and I mean, MK Ultra was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, we get another flashback, and this is where like he sees his like parents like fighting, or whatever. I don't even care. I'm like, we've already established you hate your mom and you killed her and you have mommy issues. We've already moved over to the buddy cop story. So we're good.
They're trying so hard to like make us care about the fact that his mother didn't want him and all these things, but like it's the least interesting part of the film.
It is.
And the sad part is that these are all like pretty, like, at the time well-known TV actors and stuff like that. Maybe one or two had bad performances. Everyone did a great job with this shitty script.
With what they were given, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like, they all did a really great job with what they had, and I don't begrudge the actors, because I think they did their lines great. It's just that the lines sucked, the story sucked, and they did whatever they could. And then this other reviewer that I had, he says, yes, all the flashback scenes with the old couple who are his parents was filmed in jaundice vision.
Yeah, no shit. That is, We're done. We're done here.
Jaundice vision.
Done.
I'm gonna start a new podcast called Jaundice Vision. I can't wait.
Good. Well, we just watch movies in the yellow spectrum.
See,
No Green Lanterns can watch that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it'd be a cool band name too.
Jaundice Vision?
Yeah.
I definitely go see Jaundice Vision.
I would totally go see them.
No, I just kind of thought that the color in the film was like, no, this is awful. Fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, they ran out of money to color the film. They're like, all we got left is yellow. We'll use it for the flashback scene.
Some Sharpies.
I was astounded by the scenes that were fucking purple. I was just like fucking this. I don't know. Graposaurus Rex fucking vision, oh my god.
Yeah.
I too am shocked that this never got the HD remaster treatment.
Oh god. I don't want to see the fucker on VHS or anything else. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, and then don't forget that they go to the old mother's place or whatever, trying to get some clues and shit. And this is when Invisible Sans starts throwing shit at him, and he thinks it's the other cop doing it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this one.
I love that this guy can turn invisible. Like, and if you can turn invisible, you can kill people any way you want. But he's gonna stand at the top of the stairs and pitch vases at these guys from the top of the stairs.
Like, well, here's the question. When he turns invisible, this is just a problem I have with invisibility. Like, why do his clothes turn invisible too?
Because, motherfucker, he's not drinking a invisibility potion. He's creating an astral field that goes around him.
This film is not smart enough to fucking do something.
If the Predator can cloak his whole fucking shit, then Mr. Sans can cloak his whole shit.
I am pretty sure the Predator is a more fucking intelligent character than fucking Sans from the Astral Factor.
Someone did not do their research about the ESP Institute, because the astral field hides the clothes.
Astral field in the shape of your body, but about 3 inches larger.
So you can't you can't do winter wear with it. We're talking like t-shirts. No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you got a puffy old starter jacket, it's gonna puff out. Like, you're gonna see like the fringes of it.
You can't wear a scarf Or
no, oh
okay.
God, no. Tom Baker from Doctor Who would be fucked. Like,
Okay, all right.
You'd see it dragging behind him, like.
Yeah, okay.
And if you had like a pet bird, depending on the size of the bird, depends on whether or not its head pops up. Like,
he fucking carries a pet bird around with them.
Shut up, you fucking bird.
It's a fucking peacock on his head. Oh, could you see a peacock just fucking float by?
Oh man! And the best part is that that if this was like real life, if this guy's goofy enough to follow them everywhere and then just throw shit at them to be like, "Ooh, I'm a ghost," he's like sticking his tongue out and like showing his dick and shit like that, like where they can't see him and like making faces and stuff like that. Because that's what I would do.
That's your mind, fucking automatic. You're invisible.
Yeah,
You
I'd be like, dude, don't
money.
Don't get a hard on, or it's gonna go outside of the field.
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
that's where just the tip came from. That's where.
Oh my God.
Today I learned.
Oh my God.
It's for someone that has an astral field.
I love that this is where we've decided to stop suspending our disbelief with this film.
I just love Stefan's reasoning. Like, okay, if I was invisible, I would like kill, my enemies.
Well,
I would,
then this
and shake my dick in the cocks.
I'm gonna pull my cock out.
And then of
I'm
course
gonna
the
fucking
best
wiggle
part
it.
is here's this guy that's invisible. He's doing all this stuff, yet he leaves a list of potential victims. Like it basically says,
he does,
I want to kill these ladies
in his room that looks like some kind of D&D
I know. So
board.
So Barrett and the other guy are like, we did all right. Click, 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 click. We did
Yeah,
all-
click, 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 click.
click, 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 click. Don't write on that.
Yeah. The more excessive clicks is the happier he is. It's like a dog when you pet his belly.
Right. So now they got to track down all these people on this list. Thank goodness they had this list, though. I mean,
Thank
boy,
goodness.
man, good thing he put his legit hit list down. Like,
Yeah. Or this movie would have went nowhere.
I feel like it should have been in crayon, a yellow crayon.
A yellow, just to keep with the whole.
When the screen turns yellow, though, how can you read it? Like, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's invisible ink at that.
It's invisible. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
invisible ink strangler.
Good night, everybody. And then this is where the chick in
He's
the park.
back.
This is where the chick in the park is. She's painting and her dog's there, and of course the dog's the smart one. The dog's like, I can smell a dude's dick.
Yeah.
He hasn't washed in like 5 days. Like I can smell it.
Yeah.
But she,
I see the tip of his penis poking out too.
yeah. But I
Floating-
love this though.
floating
'cause she
penis.
chases after the dog and runs right into invisible hands.
Yeah, right. Like it's a magnet.
Like you like it.
Magnets. How do they work?
Fucking miracle. For all the things about this particular scene, her death scene is one shot. It is 1 minute, 10 seconds, continuous shot, and she gives everything she's got into this.
Oh, they all
okay,
do, man.
you're being
Yeah,
choked by an invisible man. Yeah.
Because I mean, it was all like, it's all you. This is your big
Made,
shot. This is your chance.
Made what's her name from Handmaid's Tale and the new Invisible Man look dumb. That's what I'm saying. Like, can we put some
oddly
passion
enough,
in it, like this woman did?
Oddly enough, I saw the in 2020 Invisible Man just a couple of days ago. Before
It's good. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was crap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
man,
really
you're one of the
doesn't
few
compare
people
to
that
the
really
Astral Factor.
No,
It is no Astral Factor, or as we like to call it, the Astral Fiend. But yeah.
I don't know, unless you are God, I can't even think of his name now. The guy who directed The Invisible Man back in the 30s.
Was it Whale? Did Whale direct the Invisible
James
Man?
Wales, yes.
James Whale,
Unless you're James Wales, you just shouldn't make movies about invisible people.
But I know we're getting off topic because this is better to talk about than this movie, but
yes,
I enjoyed a fresh take on it. Like I enjoyed the fresh take on it. I thought it was
so
interesting.
boring.
I
thought it was.
It's because
so
you want the
boring.
original story. That's what you want. We just
Don't
had
you
this conversation, Mr.
Hey,
Nostalgia.
don't you Stefan splain to me.
I will sand-splain to you and make you run into my invisible hands, but watch out for the tip.
Well,
Actually, you know what? Watch out for the tip would be a better name for this film.
watch out for the tip.
The Astral Factor.
AKA
watch out for the tip.
The Astral Factor.
It would fit more under the 70s porno category.
That's what he said, the Astral Factor.
Yeah, the Astral Fucker.
You can use the same soundtrack. The music is basically the
Pretty
same.
much.
Pretty much
There's
the
like-
same, yeah.
When he kills the chick on the boat, there's that song that goes on for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I know.
It was
I know.
God. It just
I
went
can't
on.
wait to get to that
Oh,
scene.
I know. I can't wait either. But first, we got to talk about Lieutenant Barrett going home because it's his birthday, and Candy made him a cake apparently made out of a fucking sponge.
Yes.
What is with this scene? What is the point of this? This is the scene that made me feel like this is an episode of a television show.
I don't, and the whole scene is so super awkward, and maybe that's what's supposed to happen. I'm not 100% sure. But it was just this, and here she is. She's in this like fur coat with obviously
Once again, yes,
nothing
with the
on
coat on.
underneath, and he's like, I've just been having a bad day. I'm like, your porn star of a girlfriend wants to do you. She just gave you a sponge cake because it's not real, because she don't want you to eat that cake. She wants you to eat her pie.
Well, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know if it's his girlfriend, if it's his wife. Like I said, it's a live-in prostitute.
Sure.
It's a maid.
When she brings him the cake,
Sister, I don't know.
Yeah, sister.
oh God, that'd be weird.
Well, me and Stefan, we have a lot of inbreeding in our family, so we're kind of used to it.
That family tree's a circle.
Yeah.
Oh,
But, like,
I was
so-
watching The Flash from last season, and like they were trying to ask the new Wells guy, about this girl, and he's like, "Oh, is she your daughter?" And he's like, "Well, no, she's like a coworker." Blah 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 blah. Like it just kept like he never really answered. But I'm like, wait, did you like hook up with your daughter in Earth 2? Like,
Is that the implication?
I'm not sure what it. And then it just was left, and I was like,
Yeah, you can't finish that scene. You just gotta
that's
cut
what
it.
this felt like. That's what this scene. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
so like
she
really
can't make a
strange.
cake, but she can frost like a freaking man.
So that's the thing. She brings him the cake, and then she's like from the kitchen, "Is it good?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's great." And then from the kitchen, she's like, "I told you I was good at something else." The implication, of course, being, I guess, the other good thing is boning. Like,
Yeah. Because she's like, I was gonna
wearing
make
jackets.
I was gonna make you dinner. What do you want? And then like frozen mac and cheese goes. He goes, mac and cheese. It's so awkward. This whole scene. The
whole
whole
film.
relationship. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know who this film is supposed to be about. That's the problem. Like, you
this
don't
feels
know
like a tiny episode of The Honeymooners sandwiched into this murder movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
By way of
man.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Yes,
Honeymoon
yes.
by way of Debbie.
Right. But then, oh God, do we first finally get to see these damn dancers? This is the first time we see
Oh
these
my God.
dancers.
When I saw this shit, I was just like, yes, this is what this awful film needs. Fucking interpretive dancing.
Oh my God. So the best is there's all these hot chicks dancing, and this old guy, he's got to be at least 55. This is 1970, so he looked like he was 55, so he's probably 35. But
Yeah.
But he
Oh,
was
shit.
way older, and they get done with the break. They get done with whatever that bit is, and they're like, "Okay, kids, take a break." And I'm like, "That man is old. Who you calling a kid?" Like, oh my God! But you're like, "What is this?" Like, and he just looks so creepy and so out of place, and you're like, "This guy should have been the killer." Like,
Yeah, no shit.
This guy
Much
was
more
super
interesting
creepy.
character.
Right? And then you see your boy standing outside the theater, Sand standing out there, and another security guard is like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing out here?" He's like, "Oh, well, I'm an actor in one of the shows. I just want to try to come on inside and get inside the building." I'm like, just laser this motherfucker, like, dude.
Yeah.
And the dude was
Oh,
like,
security
"Well,
guards in this film, man, they got no chance.
No. Yeah.
no."
A lot of
And,
security guards are angered by this film.
Yeah, and that's
actually.
when he makes the car turn on. So, like, again, he can turn a damn car on, but he couldn't unlock his jail cell. And he had to
Oh,
have
and
the
this
other
was
guy
like-
open the other door. Like, I'm still.
This was like this kill had such good potential to be a great kill, because like he's under the wheels of the car, and then Sands makes the car continue on. And you sort of see his feet drag along with the car, and you just hear him scream. It could have been such a good kill.
I know.
They didn't have any money. They spent it all on TV static and fur coats.
Right. We got a pair of pants and we got to sew some shoes onto it. We're going to tie it to the bottom of this car. That's going to be your nut scene. You're good.
Oh, man. Well, then we get Detective Holt waking Barrett up from his birthday sex sleep and tells him we got to get back on the case because they need to watch over a dancer because she's the next on the list. But Barrett goes over to our ESP research facility where we see the guy moving a ball with the power of his mind. Now, I'm pretty sure this is where J.J. Abrams got the idea for Fringe, right? So.
Yeah, probably. Maybe he got the idea for the last fucking Skywalker because that sucked too.
You shut your dirty mouth. But yeah, so we're seeing that essentially Barrett is now seeing that the psychic powers are real. Even though this guy only moved the ball like 2 inches or whatever, like the length of an astral field.
It was pretty impressive. Like if I fucking saw that, don't you act like that isn't if I fucking went to work tomorrow and somebody was doing that shit,
dude,
living a fucking apple, I would shit my pants.
I run a paranormal show, and so I have to be skeptic on some things. But I look, and I'm looking at a picture of it. There's a cloth that drapes the entire table, which means his knee could pop up at any time and bump that just enough to move that ball. I'm just saying.
Oh, shut up. This isn't the fucking Fearscape. This the Misters of the Dark talking about this shitty fucking film from 1970.
Are you implying that the ESP Research Institute fakes its findings?
Yeah. Oh, there's another contact for Fearscape.
I'm just trying to be Lieutenant Barrett here. I got some candy at home I need to eat, and I ain't got time to be watching a ball bounce around the table, and you trying to tell me that some ghost is killing people. Like, unless it's Ghost Dad Bill Cosby, I ain't gonna believe you. Because he is.
God, now we're canceled. Now we're canceled.
Oh, man. Oh, Ghost Dad's a completely different film now, isn't it? Oh, man.
Different film. Like, I tried to watch it again, like, because it was one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid, and I tried to watch it again, but after everything, and I was like, this is awkward.
Oh, no.
I can't watch anything. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And we got to move on from Bill Cosby. We can't.
You felt the one thing I'd rather not talk about than this fucking.
Yeah. Well, anyways, like no one else in the room seemed very impressed that the ball moved around. Like they were all like, "Yep, that just happened." Yep.
He's our ball guy. It's fine.
He's our ball guy.
It's our ball guy.
Just the tip.
But this next kill is the one we've been alluding to. That is the favorite bestest is the boat kill. So this is where they go and they're doing some diving. Like it's the murder, or I mean the starlet from earlier.
Bambi.
Yeah, Bambi. This is where it's Bambi, and and Barrett's over checking in on Elkie. So Hartman, he's on checking on her, trying to take her into protective custody, but she's like, I ain't gonna do it.
Nah, bro.
Nah, I ain't gonna do it. But we're
He's
back.
my favorite character.
Right.
You had one.
And of course, this is where we go back to the dancer too, where it's like there's the dance routine happening and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of things that are kind of happening right now. So we're seeing that creepy, weird disco dance moves. And
one creepy old guy from that scene is like dressed almost exactly like Zardoz. Do you else notice that? Like Sean Connery Zardoz?
Yes.
Like a demonic Power Ranger or something.
But this is one of my favorite kills though. Like, is this dancer? Because this is where we see the full dance. We get an illusion of the boat here early, but we don't go there yet because we go back to the dancer. And we see them in full costume, and we see the old creepy guy is an old creepy devil, like apparently, and all that stuff. And so you've got them there. There's cops posted everywhere. You got Clicky McGee clicking all over the place. They're saying nobody can get in or out. We've got 9 stage hands or something like that. In the smallest production I've ever seen, I'm like, what do you need 9 stage hands for a dance? Like, okay. But yeah, that's happening.
I have no idea how hard it is to get into a leotard. You need like 9
yeah.
One person's got to put on baby powder.
Yeah,
it's over.
Yeah. Stefan's done his fair share of interpretive dancing. So
I have. But you
held that for way too long.
They take the girl like in the dance, like the devil puts her in these like chains, and I'm like, oh god, she's gonna get strangled to death on stage. But I think she was supposed to die, and so everybody's like, oh, but man, the fucking look on her face, because she wasn't able to put her hands up to pretend that somebody was strangling her. She had her hands strapped and were like apart from each other, so she had to. Man. Whew, that got me. That's like the one death that got me, because I was like, because the camera was like right in on her eyes, like you're like, oh,
her face was amazing.
Yeah.
She told the whole story with her face.
Ooh,
I agree.
Man.
I agree. This was the only scene in the whole film.
And like,
that,
how
like,
ballsy is Sands? He
worked.
does this right in the middle of the damn show, and Devil goes over there and he's like, oh shit, she dead. Like, and, sometime during this is when Barrett's like, give me your fucking pen, and throws his fucking pen away and gives him a pencil.
The best scene in the whole film.
Yes. But yeah, this was in one of my top deaths, was this one right here.
Like ever?
No, fuck no.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you out? You fucking lost your mind.
In this movie.
Okay.
She did very well. But this is then when we get to the boat with Bambi and her boyfriend, who's just a douchebag.
Yeah. And again, in typical 70s fashion, he's like 50 years old.
Right. And here's this dude like
right.
like he's mad because there's cops on the boat, because they're trying to protect her because she's an actress. And he fucking hits her. And the cops are like, it's the 70s, it's okay.
It's the 70s, we don't give a shit.
It's fine.
If it breaks a record, says, I hate your music.
Rule of jackhammer, as long as it's as big as a fucking jackhammer, you can hit her with it. It's 1978, it's whatever. Like, they didn't do a damn thing. And he's like, turn that goddamn music off. And I was like, man, that song was pretty good, though. Like the first song.
I mean, as far as the rest, compared to the rest of the soundtrack of the film,
yeah, the first song was pretty good.
Damn your kids and your disco music, BBs and your
disco. And he's basically like, the only reason you're a starlet is because I made you a starlet. You'll never work in this town again. I'm like, gross.
Again.
So she then goes on and puts on another tape. And at this point, I didn't realize that cassette tapes had been around this long. And I looked it up. They've been around since 1963. But they didn't.
Was it a cassette or an 8-track?
No, it was a
cassette
cassette tape. It was a cassette tape.
Okay.
And you can tell by the way she puts it in. But it was a cassette, and cassettes were around. And actually, around this time is when they began to get prominence. 8-tracks started falling out. So it's funny, 8-tracks were the prominent thing because of the car industry. It was the car industry. I found out that Ford invested into 8-tracks because they wanted to put them in their cars, and that's why 8-tracks got so big, because all of a sudden cars, that's what they had, were 8-track players instead of cassette players, which they had already had before that. But it was very much like, Blu-ray versus HD DVD like type thing in a way. And that's what it was. But then like the 8-track, nobody liked it because it was an 8-track and it was too big and clunky and shit like that. And so and then the Walkman came out, and the Walkman it killed 8-tracks, and that's how tapes, which had been around longer than 8-tracks, took prominence.
That shows you how uninteresting this film is, because Stefan has to stop in the middle of our podcast and explain the history of fucking cassette tapes.
Well, that's what I was doing during this whole death scene, was reading this because I couldn't handle it.
Were you? No shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sands.
I was literally
Sands
this
shows
film.
Up, though. This is what made me laugh: is the motherfucker shows up in a full diving suit.
Scubas, yeah.
He's in a full.
The one time,
Scuba Steve coming up to the boat.
Says, Scuba Steve, damn you!
I was like, is this motherfucker in a scuba suit?
May can turn invisible. Why is he wearing a scuba suit? Why is he carrying a goddamn harpoon gun? He can turn invisible.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. He can cover his body if he has clothes on, but if he has a wetsuit on, it destroys everything. Like,
they had to pander to the scuba diving audience. God damn it.
One of the producers was like, hey, I'm meeting for Scuba Club next week. And I need to show them something.
Yeah.
I promised Jeff he could get a scene in
Scuba diving was prominent in the late 70s.
Oh God, it's like
And it
James
makes me
Bond.
wonder if like they couldn't get whoever the guy was playing Sans. It kind of makes me wonder if they couldn't get him for filming, and they had to get someone else for filming that side. So they had to make her wear a mask and stuff.
That's very plausible. Yeah.
But yeah, it totally like ruins continuity because just like Lance brought up in the very beginning, how does it cover his clothes, and why did it not cover these clothes? Like, I get him having to wear the suit because he wants to dive in. He doesn't want anybody to see him, but it's like, and he wants to be underwater because you'd see him above water. You'd just see this like hole in the water. But yeah, it's stupid. It's the dumbest thing. And yeah, he's got a fucking harpoon gun or whatever and still strangles the bitch. Like,
yeah. That's his MO, is he strangles.
My favorite part.
But he does do it. And here's the other thing. He doesn't even go invisible when he kills her.
No. That's my favorite part about this kill. It's the only kill we get to see where he like does it like where we can actually see him do the murder with his hands. And it like the music comes to this incredibly tense crescendo during this murder, and then it cuts to the boat scene of the cops in the boat, and it's just quiet with the boat motor going.
Yep.
And then it cuts back to the tense music, and then it cuts back to the quiet boat. It's
like, it makes me wonder. I'm like, did he not know he wasn't invisible at the time? Like, did he not know that wetsuits negated his astral powers?
Yeah.
And you so like, you can't see me.
You have to admit, this out of our history of cinematic villains and killers and stuff, he isn't the brightest one in the bunch. Yeah, his eyes might light up, but
he's not.
No.
Good God.
But at least he knocked out Bambi's boyfriend. Can we at least like say that? I mean, yeah, Bambi died and that sucked, but at least the boyfriend got knocked out. I mean, he got something. And so then he steals a boat. And
still not invisible.
Like,
Importantly, still not invisible at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was Barrett that knocked out the boyfriend, wasn't it? The detective. No.
He did.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I thought that was awkward because he's in his fucking scuba suit. He just strangled this woman, and the boyfriend comes up from down, and he goes and hides. That's what I don't get.
That's
he goes and hides.
Yeah, so he gets to the shore, right? And that's when he has to take off the wetsuit to turn invisible.
After the boat chase, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Which makes
Lance
no
is
sense.
back on the boat.
I'm still back on the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
you all are already gone. I'm still hanging out.
This is when Sans has stolen the boat and he's on shore, and he like then starts to take off the suit, and that's when he turns invisible again, and he just vanishes.
I don't know.
And so at this point, he's obviously naked. He's running around naked at this point.
Yeah, with his dick hanging out like you want.
Yep.
Like you would do.
Like I would do. Do not get him excited, or you will see a mushroom coming at you.
Yeah, hammerhead.
It will look just like Mellow Mushroom's mascot coming at you.
Mellow Mushroom.
Yellow is just yellow and jaundicey.
What a comeback or callback.
Yep.
But now I think we can call it a comeback.
Yeah. Let's call it a.
Now we get to Elkie. So now we get to Elkie. What's her name? Hartman, Christine, or Chris, whatever. Because she's the last one on the list. So they all go to her place knowing that Sans is going to show up here. So they fortified it, but come on. Sans is going to do what he's going to do. He's just going to walk through any open gateway because we're not sure what his powers are.
Yeah.
I don't think he's sure what his powers are.
He's just sort of making it up as it goes along.
Yeah.
He can shoot lasers out of his eyes.
Is this the point where like they're all hanging out, like, because they get the female cop, she's like watching, and then she like just randomly starts playing guitar? Like,
yes.
Is this where this happens?
No, the guitar was a little bit beforehand.
Oh, was it? Well, regardless, I found out that this song that she plays, Nirvana ended up covering it years later.
Huh.
You're fucking lying.
No, I'm dead serious.
Really?
It's not a song that was made up for this movie. It was already a song. It's like called Ledbetter. It's not Yellow Ledbetter. But it's like something or other. But yeah, I was reading in one of the reviews, actually a couple of the reviews, that Nirvana covered the song that she sings in this. So it's weird. But anyways, let's see. The cops are just sitting around waiting.
Yeah, the female cop in this last scene, it looks like if someone was to go to a costume store and say, "Give me a female cop uniform."
Yeah.
And that's what they would give you, because it's got like
else
this
said
little
that it looked like Amy Pond's cop costume from Doctor Who when she first came on.
Very
accurate.
accurate.
Cop cosplay.
Yeah, it looks like the stripper gram cop costume.
Yeah.
It's got a goofy little hat. The skirt is way too short. She has a weapon briefly, but then she like puts it away. She doesn't seem to be stressed out at all about this whole situation.
But this is where the bodies hit the floor at this point. Like, Sans is just taking out people left and right, dude. He's just going nuts trying to get to Hartman here, just killing people left and right. And it's at this point that Barrett finally sees that this is happening. He's like, okay, I guess it is real. I guess he is invisible.
I guess.
Well, I'll be dead.
And as one reviewer said, well, that only took 90 minutes.
No shit.
Oh man. But yeah, like, so like he comes out and grabs Christine or whatever, but Barrett's such a good shot that he's able to hit something that he can only hear. And he shoots Sans, and Sans falls. Shot.
And he
Sans grabs. They've set up some sort of like weird elaborate trap that doesn't appear to have triggered until after Sans gets shot.
Yeah. It doesn't
and
make.
He like implodes or something.
Yeah. So like he grabs the stairway's railing, which is electrified for this occasion, which essentially, like, between the bullet and the electricity, I don't know if this was like a precursor to the Ghostbusters ghost trap, but like he just starts like he's turning like all staticky and shit, and then like he goes super staticky, but comes in like looks a little bit better. He cries out to his mommy.
He said, he says, "Mom, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet."
But then, I don't know if he dies or what, or if he just goes into the Twilight Zone. Or
he seems to get sucked into a black hole.
That's what I mean. Like he like gets sucked up into his own.
Yeah, like goes into like a star field. That's why I said it reminds me of like the opening to Twilight Zone. It's like he should be one of the things flying around in that opening theme.
Maybe he is. Maybe that's where he goes. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if he went to another dimension or if he completely dissipated because like he looks like a stick figure. Actually, you know what he looks like when he's all statically flying through the star field is those little drawing stick figures like that artists use that you can move and
the little mannequin thing.
The little mannequin thing that you can move and stuff like that. That's what he looks like. Is really skinny legs and like long arms.
The whole TD static effect, didn't they use that in Quantum Leap?
Oh, they used it in a ton.
Oh, they totally did.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's what it kind of reminded me of.
It's the same effect from Star Trek, the original Star Trek, when they teleported. That's exactly what it looked like. It's a classic old effect, like that. They were like, "Well, hey, we had a guy that did effects on Star Trek back, I don't know, like 15 years ago. He said he can make it look good.
Yeah, let's make a movie around it."
You need a guy who can teleport? I got you a guy who can do a teleport.
I got you a guy.
God, can you imagine that pitch meeting? Look, I need $100,000. No. I got a guy that did some teleportation in Star Trek in the 60s.
Show him what you do.
Oh, sweet. Let's write a movie around that. Let me get my checkbook. So
and he also throw matches.
I would have been happy if the movie was done at this point. But
Me too.
Oh my God.
I would have been relieved.
Not done. And this is again where they're trying to shove down our throats that this movie is actually about Lieutenant Barrett and Candy. Because we go back to Barrett going home to his wife, girlfriend, live-in prostitute, sister, we don't know.
Yeah, mom.
And he's sitting there crying like a baby, doesn't know what's going on. He grabs a beer, he stares like at a wall, and then she comes over and she just basically coddles him.
Yeah, and the end.
The end.
No, doesn't he begin to violently make out with her?
Oh, he does, but and then he moves his like head out of the way, and I'm waiting for the ending where you see that it's actually Sans had like jumped into his body or something is what I was waiting for.
No, that movie, this they didn't even have the fucking intelligence to do that. Good God.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I mean, this is how bad it was for me. I was literally like looking at the, like, how much longer does this fucker have? Like about every 10 minutes. How much longer? How much longer?
But I will say, surprisingly, it had a high kill count, had 11 people killed, and I don't even think that counts like his mom and dad or whatever, like, because we don't really see that. So that's a pretty good kill count for such a cheesy movie. I think that was more people dead than Christmas Evil, our last movie we reviewed.
Yeah, but the thing about that was Christmas Evil was still good.
It was really good. I mean, anybody that's Fiona Apple's dad wins my money any day.
Yeah.
But yeah, 11 people died. So let's go through it. What's your favorite kill? I gotta say, mine was hands down has to be the dancer kill. That was just my favorite. That actress sold it for me. It was bomb. That was my favorite kill.
I think mine was probably the one on the boat, simply because. Well, it would have been a great kill if we had got to see it all in one shot. But we had to see the kill, and then we had to see the police on the boat, and then we got to see the kill, and then we got to see police on the boat again, and then we got to see the rest of the kill.
Yeah.
Had we got to see the kill in one continuous shot, it would have been pretty good.
Lance?
I don't even know. I'm trying to forget this movie as I'm
Pitchfork
discussing
guy?
it. Pitchfork?
Yeah, the guy
No,
that got killed with pitchfork, that was pretty cool.
I'm going with whatever you said. I thought that was the most
the dancer?
interesting.
The dancer,
I thought that was not just like the most interesting part of the like kill, but the most interesting part of the film. And that was it.
Yeah. My favorite character was pen clicky guy, except for when he was clicking his pen. Because other than that, he was ridiculous, dude. Like, you're like, are you really a cop, or are you like somebody's like little cousin that you like, took to
he
work?
was like falling asleep in the chair. He was complaining about the sandwiches in the car in that one scene.
Yeah, he was like, mine's the one with mustard. Why do I remember that? Out of all this, I remember that.
I want to believe that was written into the script. Like, he did not improvise that line. Super important.
Mine's the one with the mustard.
Mine's the one with the mustard.
This is the backbone of the entire film.
By the way, I did find out the song was by an artist named Ledbetter. The song is "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?" So I'm gonna try to find that, and if I can find it, I'm gonna close out. Sorry, Corey Adams, but I'm gonna try to close out Misters with that song.
Don't do the Mistress music. I refuse to have anything.
Oh man, so we will quickly talk. I want to quickly talk about Invisible Strangler, because this is again, Invisible Strangler came out in 1984, and someone, I don't know who, decided it would be a good idea to re-edit it, which it is a good idea to re-edit it because I don't think it actually got edited. Into a shorter film. And made it completely different and re-released it as the Invisible Strangler. You don't ever see the killer. He does talk frequently though, or no, he never talks ever. Like they take out all of his dialogue up until the very, very end. Like, so you don't hear the whole mother angle. He's just an invisible asshole.
That's what they should have called it.
Yeah, they even reshot some stuff. It says here that most of the scenes that the guy that plays Sans is in, including the opening where he first becomes invisible, is completely reshot with a different cast and features different music. So they have different music throughout the movie. It has some different action. It strikes a different tone, but there's a lot of missing plot points that are very obvious that are missing. So it's like on one hand, Invisible Strangler, they made a better movie. They kind of beefed it up a little bit and things like that. But at the same time, like, it's also worse because they took out a lot of the things that kind of were trying to force a point home.
That sort of made sense.
The compelling plot points,
Compelling plot points, I don't know.
To the extent that there were any, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Let's rate this fucker because I'm tired of talking about it.
Well, I would like to read you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We gotta hear. You said you had a review.
Yeah.
So my favorite review on Amazon for this film has 2 stars on Amazon. I'm sorry, 2.2 out of 5.
Ooh.
My favorite review is 3 stars out of 5. The title of the review is Strange Film. The full review is didn't like the story, only bought it because Stephanie Powers was in it, comma, I love her.
And I kid you not, I read probably 20 reviews and all of them pretty much said the same thing. Oh, Stephanie Powers was in it. So I wanted to see it.
Who was she again? Who was she? Was she?
She was a really
Candy.
famous 80s. Yeah, she was Candy and she was a famous 80s actress. She was like the female lead in Heart to Heart, like stuff like that.
You get to see her butt in this film.
Yeah.
You did. It was nice too.
That's the redeeming quality about this film. You get to see Stephanie Powers' butt.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I will say one of my other favorite things about Candy, which we didn't mention, was the fact that she spoke in third person the whole time.
Yes, that was another thing.
Candy wanted to surprise you. Candy
I was
wanted
like,
to say happy birthday.
My God! So not only is she a living prostitute, but she's also fucking mental. She thinks she's the fucking Rock.
Oh man. There's some good quotes in this though. Like another one, Captain Wells is talking to Barrett and he says, "So what'd you think of Holt, the clicky guy?" And Barrett says, "He's not as bad as I thought, but he's not as good as he thinks he is either. I'll probably be working with him for 5 years."
Oh man, I love it.
Oh man.
Oh, can we? I can't believe we glossed over this. The scene where Holt comes and wakes Barrett up out of bed, and Barrett like sits up in bed and he's wearing a t-shirt, and then he gets out of bed and he's wearing no pants whatsoever.
You get to see his ass too.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So
when Holt stays the night too, and Candy's just walking through in her shirt. He's like, "Oh,
because
hey, Candy,
he wakes her
here.
up." No, he wakes her up. He fucking wakes her ass up, and he's like, "Hey, make us some coffee." And he's being a little dick about
and he's like,
too.
"Candy, Holt, Candy." Like,
yeah,
like,
Candy's wearing no pants whatsoever in this shot.
But
it's just like make your own fucking coffee.
One of my other favorite quotes was one that Barrett says to Holt when they're staying with the dancer Roxanne. He says, "You eat with her, you drive with her, you take a bath with her if necessary."
Yeah.
You just don't get outside your astral field.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's just rate this fucking thing.
All right. I'm gonna knock them both out instead of doing them one at a time. I'm gonna give as a horror movie. I'm gonna give it half a star, because of the dancer's death scene. That's where she gets half a star. For horror movie. For regular movie, it's a bomb. I don't give it any stars, and I've never done that. Half a star for horror, no stars for regular movie.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give it. I'm also gonna give it. I'm going exactly with you. Half a star, no stars for horror movie. Half a stars for a film, just because and I'm the same thing. Well, whatever Stefan said, just copy and paste it.
I am Lord Stefan.
Lord Stefan. But you just that one scene with the dancer chick getting killed. The fact that you get to see Stephanie Powers' butt,
that almost pushes it up to a full star.
No, and the fact that you get to see that other guy's butt as well. So.
I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. This might make me sound chauvinistic or whatever, but if it had been full frontal, I'd have given it 1 star instead of half.
Well, you're right. That does make.
But her ass was the Astral Factor.
Oh god.
That needs to be on the back of the DVD.
Yep. Stephanie Powers' ass is the Astral Factor.
No, the tagline.
The tagline. Shit. All right, Aaron, what's your ratings?
Okay. So I think the fact that no director would claim this movie is a perfect reason is a perfect summation of why this film gets no stars out of 5, or no stars out of any. It doesn't matter what our total is. No stars at all. As far as a horror movie, I'm gonna give it a half a star also for a horror movie, but as a comedy, I'm gonna give it a single star.
Oh, okay.
Because it really does have some good comedy moments in it.
Okay.
It's a 1 star as a comedy.
Horror, though. I would call it more like a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All I know is
as
next
a TV
time
movie, though, it's a 5. No.
Oh, sure.
No. All I know is next time I pick the fucking movie.
Again, man, that movie poster is so quality.
I need to look at it again.
There's a couple movie posters, but yeah, the main one that keeps, like, that's been on the newest DVD is absolutely amazing. And if it was even close to that.
Yeah. It's the movie poster shown on the IMDb listing.
What's
great.
funny is
It's
I want you to
fantastic.
look at the poster and notice to the left, I'm pretty sure that's the Bates house from Psycho. Do you see it?
It might be.
I thought
It actually might be.
I thought you were gonna say I'm pretty sure it's Stephanie Powers' butt.
That's Stephanie Powers' butt. And here's another thing. It's like I saw this looking at the pictures apparently somewhere else, Sweden or something. It was called Silent Kill. But yeah, the Invisible Strangler is really stupid. That cover is dumb. But yeah, like that Astral Factor poster is. I will get that and hang that up because it's pretty.
It's astronomical.
They spent more time on that poster than they did on this movie. I'm not gonna acknowledge.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that was
a
thing. I mean, that was a thing, man. That's been a thing for the longest time.
Oh yeah,
it's
especially those Mongo posters. Those are really awesome.
Oh, like the it's that famous Ed Wood line. It's like, do you have a director? No, but we got a poster.
Yeah.
opens in Tulsa on Thursday or whatever.
I was saying, do you have a director? No, but we got a guy that can do the teleportation effect.
Teleportation effect? Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
Come on, yeah.
All right, well, that's the Astral Factor, 1978. If you're stupid and we didn't even give you a spoiler alert because we don't expect you to watch this.
No, don't watch it.
My new favorite tagline is that sometimes we watch these movies so you don't have to. And this is one of them, Astral Factor, 1978. Like I said, you watch it on Amazon Prime or YouTube or Internet Archive. You can go outside and scream at the wind.
Instead of watching this movie, just go outside and scream.
Yeah,
that's what I suggest.
If anybody
it is 90 minutes better spent.
Yeah. And if anyone knows where we can find a recorded version of the cinematic Titanic version of this, let us know, because I would prefer to see that.
Yes, yeah.
Anyways, we got to wrap things up. So, Aaron, if you want to hang out over here for a second, we're going to go wrap things up.
Cool, guys. Yeah, okay.
And with that, dear friends, we come to the end of another delightfully disturbing episode of Misters of the Dark. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you to the Fearscape Media Network. And thank you to Corey Adams and Ashley Jones Adams from Nothing Wrong for our musical theme. But before we go, I would
Lance! I got good news and I got bad news.
What is it?
Okay, bad news is I was trying again and I couldn't get a hold of Marilyn Monroe.
Well, life is full of disappointments, I guess.
But the good news is that I came in contact with our favorite president, George Washington, and it seems his bloodlust didn't stop at just cherry trees. So we got talking and we struck up a deal, mentally in the mind. And if we let him materialize and sow his wild oats again, so to speak, he says he'll put in a good word to Maryland for us.
It's great. But who are we gonna let?
No, don't you worry about that. I've got someone in mind. Hey, Aaron, have you ever heard of dying for your art?
That two-headed artist looks like a cherry tree for America!
Come on, Georgie, swing, badass! Wing!
But before we go, dear friends, I'll leave you with this. Monsters are real. Ghosts are real too. They live inside us. And sometimes they win. Good night.
Good night. Oh, he's still going. You want some cherries?